show can be a little gay,
but if you're not,
that's okay.
You can listen and have fun either way. Xena, Star Wars, Doctor Who, guests and music and reviews, Game of Thrones, Winona too. We promise there's something for you. She nerds out. We're girls that like nerdy things. Nerdy things.
Hello and welcome to the She Nerds Out podcast. I'm Kat.
I'm Wendy Jones.
And this is Tara. Sister Tara, I should say.
Oh, there's a little hint about what we might be talking about later. On today's episode, we have some nerd news. We have a mail sack. We're going to talk about some, Indiana Jones, and some other stuff. But before we get to that, Wendy, who are we celebrating having a birthday this week?
First of all, let me just say, I like this webpage I use. They have random, there's one birthday on there for a boy who was turning 7 because he's the son of a rapper and also has his own professional celebrity name, and he's throwing up some, hand signs, and he's 7.
Well, who is
but
he? Tell us
his name is Caden Golden.
Okay.
Who knows? He's the son of rapper Cantrell
I'm going to
Deshaun
say
Golden.
7.
Yeah, he's 7. His professional name is NBA Youngboy. But he merits the celebrity birthday page. Anyway, he's not one of our guesses.
What is the page? When did you want to give credit to the page?
Nationaltoday.com.
Perfect.
So I'm going to start with July 4th because it's July 4th. And the biggest name, I guess, not like someone I'm a huge fan of, but I have fond memories of saying the name Post Malone. It's
America.
Post Malone.
Not a huge fan, but America.
Well, America, yeah, happy birthday.
When
was Post Malone? What
I
was
have
his
absolutely
age?
no idea.
28.
20. No, I'm not going to do this to you. I'm going to say 30.
He was born in 1995. What does that mean?
Ugh, it's disgusting. It was the year I graduated high school.
He's 20. I think he's 28.
28, right?
Yeah.
God damn. Tara,
you get
how are you so good at this?
I didn't realize it was that young. I don't know why, but for some reason I didn't realize he was still under 30. But that makes sense. That makes sense.
Sure.
All right, we're gonna move on to July 6th. I could have been a contender. Sylvester Stallone. Whatever you think about him, he is a Hollywood legend. Even if you're not he won an Oscar for Rocky. The man knows his business and he knows his craft.
Sure.
He
70.
is.
He was also in Demolition Man, which I think is probably my favorite Sly Stallone movie.
That was a good movie with young Sandra Bullock. Before
Sandy
anybody
Bullock.
knew who she was.
Judge
Wesley
Dredd.
Snipes. Yeah, Judge Dredd. Okay. Sly Stallone. I'm going to say that man is pushing 80. He's 79.
I'm going to go 70.
He was born in 1946, so 77?
Oh.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Okay. All right.
He's
Doing all right, though.
Older gentleman. They have a new, one of those new Expendable movies coming out.
Yeah, we saw the preview for it during that movie when we saw Indiana, and it looked like a just bunch of...
terrible.
That's what I was going to say.
Just so
terrible.
bad. It's bad.
Well, he and his daughters have a new reality show coming out.
Oh, that's probably really good.
Yeah, that's, much better than the Expendables, I'm sure.
I'd
honestly,
rather watch it.
Based on the trailer, I'd rather watch his reality show too. The trailer. Let's just say, so it looked like, from what I could tell from the trailer, what's his name? Was it Jason Statham in that first scene with that woman? And it looked like it was all like,
woman.
Hey, here's where they get it on. And then the guy comes to the door with here's your mission, whatever happens. But it's like they spent an inordinate amount of the trailer just showing them having rough flirty sex,
flirty
fighting
sex.
That probably had nothing, was one little scene and then the rest of the movie. But they're like, oh, we need to get a lot of this in the trailer.
It might be the best scene in the movie. That's probably the problem.
That's sad, but true. All right, let's move on to July 8th.
Okay.
Now, here is a universally celebrated, related to figure, Kevin Bacon, because everybody's at least 6 degrees or less from Kevin Bacon.
Gotta love Kevin.
And he's, you know what? After Footloose, he could have been, remember that guy, Kevin? Who was that guy's name in Footloose? That was the only thing he really did. But instead, he became this very celebrated, well-liked actor, married to
Yeah.
the amazing Kira Sedgwick.
Yeah, she's the closer,
One of those marriages I'd be very sad if anything happened to. One of those Hollywood pairings.
Yeah, they seem perfect.
I like the
for
two of
each
them
other.
a lot. Yeah.
They're great.
I'm going to
The
say
closer.
62.
Kevin Bacon is. Oh boy. I'm gonna say that's a good guess, Tara. Damn it. I'm gonna say because I love him. I'm gonna say he's 59.
Oh my. 65.
Ooh.
He was born in 58. It's easy when they're like 58, 48, 88, because I can just
Why?
add and subtract from my 68.
Oh, I see.
So it makes the math easier.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Wow,
He is
65
years old. He looks
You
great.
know, like, think about someone when we were growing up who was 65.
They looked
And then
105 back then.
Think about Kevin Bacon today. What has happened?
Or in the future.
Am I going to look that good at 65? I don't think so.
Well, here's the thing. And we can get, just in our future Indiana Jones talk, I rewatched Crystal Skull, and I think he was about 64, 65 when they shot that. And I remember when it first came out, I was like, oh my God, he's so old.
I think
but
he was
now
younger,
looking back,
Wendy.
not Crystal Skull. Hang on now.
Okay.
Hang on now. Let me see. But I was going to say, I thought at the time he looked so old.
2008. Okay.
And then
What does that mean?
now he looks pretty spry in that movie compared to now.
All right. So how old is he now?
Okay, well, he was born in 19 something or other. 42. He was born in 42.
Okay. So he is 81? 80? What?
He's
Let's get-
81.
Okay,
Or
great.
he will be coming up. Oh, there's a celebrity birthday for you.
Okay. So hold on. We're going to cut most of this up. He was born in 1942, you said, right?
Yeah. So assume they shot Crystal Skull in 2007.
Okay. So what does that mean?
15 years ago, so he would have been 65.
65. Wow. I thought I read
Yep.
somewhere he was in his 50s, but there you go.
No.
Wow. Okay.
And he looked pretty good.
All right.
I mean, compared to now. Especially. I mean, he looks good. I mean, he's freaking 80.
He's
he
80.
looks good.
For fuck's
but
sake.
compared to being 65, yeah, he looks a lot older.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So,
Okay.
All right.
Who else you got?
That's all. I usually get 3.
Okay.
And
Okay.
plus, there wasn't a plethora of exciting birthdays on this
Got it.
one. So,
All right. That's okay.
Let's keep it at 3.
Okay.
It's good.
All right. What did y'all do last Wednesday?
It's very specific.
It is.
I was with the two of you.
Oh.
Well,
What
at
were
some
we
point.
doing?
We were on the picket line.
That's
Fighting
right.
the good
WGA.
fight.
Yes, for the Writers Guild of America for the Xena-themed picket.
The greater good.
Yes, that Catherine Fugere put together with special guests Steve Sears and Renee O'Connor.
Mm-hmm.
So it was from 10 to 2 that day. I think we recorded our last podcast the day before. So I think it was my first time on the line. What about y'all?
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we were out
first
there.
timers.
I got there before the two of y'all. And so I was trying to figure out parking and go and check in at the little tent, at the WGA tent. And I picked up my sign, and you get to like kind of sort through some signs. And I won't have y'all guess because you already know. But I found the most perfect sign for me. So they have these signs that they take from like place to place. So you're supposed to turn them back in at the end. But let's just say I didn't. Because my sign had a picture, a cutout of Meredith Grey. And it said,
pretty great.
so pick me, choose me, pay me. It was great.
Pretty good.
When I saw that, I thought you had made it.
No.
And he's like, no, I just
Everyone thought
randomly
that.
found it.
But no, it was one that was
Meant
there.
for you.
With Meredith's iconic line, Pick Me, Choose Me, Love Me. But now that was Pick Me, Choose Me, Pay Me, as in the writers. So loved it. I totally stole the sign, and it is.
Well, by the way,
Totally
Tara,
stole it.
after you'd started walking back to your car, the guy who approached us about the signs, he's like, "Oh, here, you can give me your signs if you want to turn them in. Like, if you want to turn them in." So it was
Or
an
keep
option.
them.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Take
it wasn't a huge scandal that
No.
you took it.
No,
Okay,
no.
good. I
Yeah.
didn't want to bring shame
They're
on
not
us.
coming after you.
No, I think it's okay.
All right. Yeah, yes, I took Meredith home with me. She's safe now. Yeah.
It was a good time. Renee was there with a cutout of Xena and
Mhm.
taking pictures with people with Xena. And yeah, it was a lot of walking around, talking to people you hadn't seen for a while, and then I think at about 1:30 they started serving the tacos that were provided by Lucy and Rob, and I think like Renee, Catherine Stephen Sears, who was there, and Melissa Blake. And so everybody migrated over to the taco stand, which of course this is, outside Universal Studios. There's not really an easy cross to get over across the street because Universal said, screw these picketers. We're going to block every sidewalk that's right outside our studios.
Yeah.
And as I say, they are doing construction on the lot, but I feel like this was just like,
Intentional.
let's just I do. I mean, that much sidewalk all of a sudden, give me a break. But anyway, no offense, parent company that I work for.
That wasn't Wendy. That was Mendy talking.
Mindy, that was Mindy. So you have to walk
Mindy
like
Moody.
Mindy Moody. Mindy is Moody.
Oh, I'm writing that down.
You have to like walk or take the elevator up to a crosswalk above the street, back down the road a piece to get your tacos. But everybody kind of ended up there. So I don't know who was still walking around picketing at the actual spot it was like at the main entrance to Universal, the park. And yeah, we were all just hanging out having some tacos. They're pretty good. And then they had pizza for the non-Xena, or I guess anybody probably had some, but
Right.
Yeah, so you get your sign, you walk over there, and then you walk back and forth through in the crosswalk that's right there. And people honk at you like in a good way. Like honking is good, supportive.
Like in support.
Not like get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Although some people were,
I'm sure that's
like,
happened at some point. Yeah.
But yes, most people were very supportive. And yeah, so how many times did you guys walk back and forth? Especially you, Wendy.
By the time I got there a little late. I met you guys at base camp. I had a couple of tacos, and then we headed back over. I think maybe 4 times I did the back and forth.
Is the walking the thing, or the being there physically in support the thing? Is the walking a bit?
It's debatable.
Other than that, I was talking to friends. I was eating tacos.
Yes,
I just
yes.
maybe
we
not have
covered the tacos.
I got there a little late because I had to work. And then I made the physical act of crossing back and forth a couple of times.
Oh, no, she did it one time.
No, I did it twice.
No, you did it once. You did.
No,
you went there.
at
no,
the end.
At the
At
end.
the
At the end, I
You
did
it
one
once
more.
at the beginning. And then I was like, where'd Wendy go? I kept looking at Jesus yapping away.
Don't
over
they
there.
count?
And then
I don't think
literally
they count the steps. They
at
count
2
your
o'clock,
presence.
at 2 minutes to 2, the guy was they have like the WGA captains that like organize it.
Yeah.
And they're shutting it down too. They're like, all right, this one come up. This is our last walk across.
Last
I had to
call.
shout, Birthday, do you want to go? So literally Wendy came and did one more. She did one. And then talking, and then she did one, literally the last back and forth of the day.
But Tara, she did have tacos.
I was talking
She
to
ate
our
the tacos.
friends and
Solidarity.
Solidarity tacos.
I was there supporting. They're not tracking my steps.
You
there
did
are a lot
great,
of people just
Wendy.
standing there. Come on now.
You did great.
Great personal risk. I walked out of my
That's
workplace
true.
to picket them and walked right back in. Judged me.
Pick up
But it
your
was-
car.
To get my car, yeah. And then I
from
put my
the
jacket
lot
back
that you were
on and took my
picketing.
hat off and kind of went incognito.
Yeah, that was Mindy out on the picket line.
Oh,
I had to
definitely
go
Mindy.
see my twin Mindy.
Mindy Moody.
And then we went out to grab a drink at Boxing Out. It was fun. It was a nice random.
Sure.
It felt like a Friday, and then all of a sudden next day was
Yeah.
Thursday. I'm like, well, now what?
Yeah.
Felt like a Friday.
But it was fun. I was a little late, so I got to chat with Stephen Sears, though. Like, we were kind of like the last people there And you could tell
Yeah,
that
he
Steven
closed
didn't
it
want to.
down.
Steven didn't want to go home. He's like,
I'm
"Ah,
sure
I
he was
guess
enjoying seeing
I guess we
people.
gotta go." But we're gonna have him back on. He's agreed to come back on. So before end of the summer, we'll have Steven back. Love Steven.
'Cause
He was so apologetic. He was like, "I'm
Great.
sorry, I talked so much last time." We're like, "Steven, that's what we want you to do." You
Yeah, we
have the
prefer
best
podcast
stories.
guests that don't have anything to say.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you want in a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, there were people there in costumes.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was some really great signs, some great art.
Yeah.
One girl had brought like a really cool art cutout of Xena that she had done. It was really nice. So yeah, we got some pictures put up. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a good turnout.
It was a good turnout. That even the WGA people said, "Oh wow, this is like way more."
I thought we were
than-"
going to end the strike
That's
that day.
awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to, this power of Xena was going to
Yeah. What
bring it
happened?
to an end, but I guess not.
You're on a roll that day. Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was, a sad reason have to all come together with Xena people, but it was great. It was a lot of fun and
Yeah.
nice to see everyone. And we got some pictures we can post.
Catherine Fouget had posted later that day on Instagram, and she said, "I was worried that no one was going to show up." She said she woke up
Really?
in the middle of the night before, panic that what if nobody shows up? What
Dude,
if
does she
this
not
is
know
a huge-
Xenites?
Apparently she doesn't. She must now because, yeah, of course. We'll
Of course we're going to show
wherever-
up.
Tell us where to go, and we're fucking there.
We're supporting Xena till the end, and especially in something like this. We keep showing up to Xena cons. It's just basically how many people live in LA that are able. Part of it, 10 people get off work in the middle of the day.
Right.
It was 10 to 2, so that's a factor. But we had pretty good turnout.
Yeah. For Wednesday.
Mikey, who we met at the retreat a couple years ago, Xenite retreat, they drove out from Arizona to be there. So yeah, if Xenites are able to make it, if you need support,
Yeah.
they're gonna show up. So
They will
that's
show
a
up.
testament to that.
Yeah, great day.
Good
And then the
times.
next day, Kat, you and I had plans.
Yes, we did.
We saw Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Dun, 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 dun,
We're going to talk
dun,
about
dun.
this non-spoilery, and then we're going to get a little more into spoilers. So
Yeah.
we'll tell you when to turn us off and forward ahead if you don't want to hear
skip a bit.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Overall impressions for me. This thing came out too, as we talked about on the pod. I think some pretty harsh reviews after it debuted at the Cannes Film Festival. And since then, people are like, "Oh my God, why did they even bother? It's not very good. It's a horrible disgrace to the legacy." Anyway, it was not that. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'm seeing it again next weekend. I very much enjoyed it. It was definitely, we'll get a little more into, missing, a lot of people said, that Spielberg touch. It was, and I can't even, I'll be curious to see it again, having seen it once and with all my preconceived ideas of what it may or may not be. And then I'll let it sit and see it again and see what my thoughts are. It was perfectly fine. It was a nice send-off. I'm glad it exists. I'm not one of those they just should have stopped making them after the third one. No, you want to see where his story goes. It was not a perfect movie, but it wasn't the travesty of filmmaking that unfolding. You've got extreme reactions on the internets these days. and
Always.
you can't just say, yes, I enjoyed it. Here are some problems I had, but my goodness, go see it. It's Indiana Jones. It has to be, why did they bother? Whoa, this is just waste of time. I regret the 2.5 hours I spent in theater. Whatever. Very dramatic.
Very.
What'd you think, Kat?
I liked it. Like you, I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. I thought it could have been shorter.
Yeah.
That first part, the sort of the first set piece, maybe goes on a little too long. Surprisingly, a huge chunk of the movie is this. And we'll get into it later why it's interesting. But it's that could have been 10 minutes shorter.
I think so. But basically, for its purpose, it didn't have to be as long as it was.
And there are some things that we learn in the beginning of the movie that I was like, well, that sucks. I'm disappointed already. And then by the end of it, you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like what they did.
CG was hit and miss on
CG
parts.
was interesting.
I mean,
yeah.
if you've seen a preview, you know that they used him de-aging to look better.
And
with mixed results.
Just I was not. It was not good enough where I was completely undistracted by it. I was like, oh, this is definitely not.
Some parts, maybe not just then, but throughout the film, there were people in masks. Like they made masks of old Indy, or I think young Indy, for like certain shots. Like I know like older Indy, he's on a motorcycle at some point, and someone was physically wearing an old man Indiana Jones mask.
Like his face?
Yeah.
Weird.
Interesting.
I read that Mangold wanted to do as much without using digital effects as possible.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, that's a hard thing to do when you're de-aging an actor. But
so, I mean, I'm sure for distance shots or shots that were, not
like close-ups,
or action.
But yeah, some of the effects were, I was distracted by some of the effects. I'll say that.
Well, there's even one shot of him running in the flashback.
Yeah,
and it was oddly like that. Seems like the one of the easier things you could do. But
get a sound stage and have some dude run across. Like, what's the problem here?
Yeah, I don't know why that one was a tough one, unless it was
weird choice.
Yeah, but
I thought Phoebe Waller-Bridge was great.
I agree.
It's a tough role to be. She
brought a lot of liveliness to it.
She did. Maybe more, because Harrison is kind of old and a little weathered. She was that like more energetic, bouncy type, but she wasn't annoying. It was just
not that Harrison
perfect.
Ford is tired of weather, but the character was at a time in his life where he wasn't as spry. Indiana Jones is a little tired of weather.
Dr. Jones, he's very he's kind of over it. He's like, I'm too old for this kind of a thing. He never says that, but that's what he's thinking.
Yeah. So our overall reactions, go see it. If you love Indiana Jones, there's some debate like, do we want to see our heroes of yesteryear in their older days, or do we just want to leave them as the young adventurers that they were? Or do we want to see what happens to them 40 years later? That's for you to decide. But they've made it. Go see. I'm tired of seeing people say, well, Disney's just trying to cash grab Indiana Jones and make money, but there's no market for. Look, Harrison Ford, if you listen to any of his interviews, he is obviously passionate about the character and the film and what this film does with the character and what it explores. And he's happy with it. He's happy they did it.
He gets emotional when he talks about it.
I'm not saying the man doesn't do films for money, but I think this one really meant a lot to him. And he didn't want to close out Indiana Jones with Crystal Skull.
I think Han Solo made him a star. I think Indiana Jones made him an icon.
Yeah. Yes.
That character made him the icon that he is today.
I concur.
I'm sure he appreciates that. Definitely go see it. If you like Indiana Jones or if you just like a big summer popcorn movie, just go see it. It's fun. You're not going to regret it.
There's nothing objectionable.
No, it's fine.
It's just a fun. I mean, go see it. It's just fun.
It's great.
A little long, but fun.
Long but fun. All right. Should we talk about some spoilers real quick?
All right. We're going to spoil things. So go away if you don't want to know. Go away.
Go away.
Come back later.
So yeah, I feel like when I was saying what I was really disappointed about, and I'm sure Wendy, you feel the same way. You find out early that Indiana Jones and Marion are separated. After they got married at the end of Crystal Skull, things are looking good. No. Mutt, thankfully, they got rid of him off screen.
I never was against Mutt. I liked Mutt.
Who's Mutt?
Shia LaBeouf from Crystal Skull. I liked Mutt. I'm not a big Shia fan, but I liked Mutt. I thought he did fine. I liked Mutt just fine. He did what he was supposed to do. Now, he badmouthed his experience on the film later, so he's a little punk.
Well, and he's a weirdo and problematic, and so
should have cast someone else, but I didn't mind him as Mutt at all.
So we find out Mutt...
the name Mutt didn't help.
The love child of Marion and Indy has died. He enlisted in the war and he died. I guess Vietnam. I guess it would have been. It wasn't World War II. So he's dead when we meet Indy again in his boxer shorts.
Yeah. Well, I listened to some interviews with Harrison and talk about how he loved that hard cut from the whole, like you said, extraordinary long first sequence of him de-aged.
Yeah.
And basically the whole point of that is to show that he fought the main villain, Mads Mikkelsen, this Nazi. He has this.
They've
Well,
crossed
first
paths
it's about
before.
they've crossed paths before. Originally, it was all about the lance that was supposed to have pierced Christ's side, and they're trying to get that, and they realize, well, this is a fake. And then, but he's like, but I have this, and it's part of this dial of destiny that Archimedes, like said, could locate fissures in time for time travel. So he's got this, and so the whole setup is Indiana getting this away from him. But so it was a very long sequence that didn't need to be as long as it was to set up the fact that they'd met before over this item.
Yeah.
So
I think if it had been shorter, it would have the effects wouldn't have bothered me as much.
and they could have worked harder on fewer.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly it, Wendy.
Yeah.
It was they spread themselves a little too thin.
And it was a fun action sequence, but for the purpose of what it was setting up, it didn't need to be as long as it was.
No, and they didn't affect Harrison's voice. So it's old man Harrison talking in like 30-year-old Indiana Jones's mouth. It was
I don't know the time period, like where, but I mean, all the first three were fairly within the same period.
It's World War. I mean, it's end of World War II, right? They've said that like Hitler's is in hiding, and so it was towards the end of the war, which is it was only a couple of years between that and when we first meet him. And
and he just like looks, his hair's a little different. His face is not expressive as if it was Harrison.
Yeah.
And you just know for a fact it's not him.
Of course.
So your mind's already telling you, I'm looking at fakery, the trickery.
Yeah. So that could have been shorter.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fun. I mean, bring the Nazis back. Sure. Let's fight some more Nazis.
It's nemesis.
It's never bad. Never a bad thing to see them get their asses kicked.
By the way, there was.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What year is it supposed to be? Like when it picks back up?
69, right?
The present day of the film is 69.
Yeah.
When the modern day quote of the film. By the way, there was someone on Twitter that said they just keep punching Nazis without establishing why they're bad or what they did to be bad. And someone's like, is this for real? Like, are you kidding me? And then someone said, maybe Spielberg should make a movie about why Nazis are bad. Oh yeah. Anyway, so
funny.
so then they go from this action
People
sequence.
are so dumb.
With young Indy, and Harris was saying he liked that cut, like that hard cut from him back in that to he's in his boxers. He's like, I wanted to look vulnerable and like an old man, and he's sitting there with his drinking, and his loud neighbors are playing rock and roll. He's at a time, like I said, he's separated from Marion.
Yeah.
But yet when I saw she ain't dead, so I'm like, okay, she'll be back. But she ain't dead. Which was good.
I didn't have the faith that you did. Oh,
well, I only did because I saw a
spoiler. Yeah.
So I knew she'd be back.
That's true.
So he's also still teaching. He's still a professor of archaeology, but we just went to the moon. So no one cares about the past, about archaeology. I mean, it's the future. It's the moon. It's astronauts. And there's a whole parade going on.
And he's retiring. It's his last day.
And he's retiring. They give him a cake. He's like, thanks for putting up with me. Yeah. It's a interesting time for Dr. Jones.
It is.
A mysterious woman has come to one of his classes. And it turns out it is the goddaughter of the gentleman who was on that adventure with him that we saw in the first scene.
Right.
She basically shows up because she knows, well, she's been told that they had this half of the dial of destiny. And her dad always said it was lost in the water they fell in during this whole fight.
And her dad was obsessed with it.
Mm-hmm. But no, well, actually, we see a flashback where her dad gives it to Indiana Jones. He says, you have to destroy it. He was obsessed. He's like, you got to destroy this.
Right. It's too powerful.
And Indy is like, yeah, I'll destroy it. Cross our fingers. No, I won't. I'll put it in this storage room, or where was it? Where they have like a museum?
It was at the college, I think.
The college. So
was he just gonna leave it there? He was leaving. Like that was his last day. He was just gonna leave it there.
Maybe he forgot about it till she showed up.
That's weird.
He may have. I mean, it was a while back. She was young at the time, and so it's been several years. He probably forgot it was in there until she showed up, and he's like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
So she's determined she's going to go look for it. And he's like, "It's over here. I got it."
You don't have to go to the Alps and look in a river. It's actually
basically
right over here.
Over here. Meantime, you've got this weird combination of I don't even remember his name. Mads Mikkelsen is back. He's obsessed with getting the doll. He wants to go back in history because he says y'all didn't win the war. Hitler lost it. So he's determined to like kill Hitler and take over or something and win the war because Hitler screwed it up. I liked him. They didn't give him a whole lot of anything other than he's very still and very like he's a physicist. He's but I mean,
it's perfect. Cool. Great
yeah.
casting.
Yeah. So he's got like his goons, also the woman with the CIA, and they're trying to get this thing. I'm never clear like how the CIA and his like non-governmental goons, how they all work together.
Yeah, I think like basically she was babysitting him because he helped them to get to the moon, and so they're like, okay, you can have this side project. We're gonna stick you with this agent so you don't get in too much trouble.
Wow.
And then that didn't work out for her.
No. Yeah, so they track Indy and Helena. Wombat was their nickname to this room, and they're trying to get this device, and turns out she really just wants to get it to sell it. She's a dealer of antiquities on the black market.
Yeah, everything that Indy hates about archaeology.
Yep, and she's doing it. And so she runs off, and part of it, I only saw this once, so I'm just going by what I remember.
You're doing great so far.
Thank you. There's this big fight, and then he gets away, and he gets on a horse, and he's riding through, and then he's on, trying to track her down. It's big chase scene. There are a lot of chase scenes.
Sure. I mean, that's an Indiana Jones movie.
I know, but we'll get to without the Spielberg touch. But it's just a lot of chaotic chasing.
There is.
They end up going to she goes to Morocco because she's going to sell this thing. And he chases her down, but not before talking to Sala. Good old Sala.
Oh, yeah.
From he was in at least the first one. Was he in the second or third?
Yeah, I think
John Rhys Davis.
He's definitely in the third one.
Okay. Well,
he shows up with horses at the end.
That's right. Well, sadly now, he's just also living in the city. He's an old guy. He's got a wife and kids and stuff, I guess.
Grandkids, yeah.
But he basically says, I miss our adventures, Indy. I miss the sand. I miss the sea. I miss waking up, not knowing what crazy adventures we were going to get into. So it's like we're seeing these adventurous gentlemen at the end of their adventurous lives. And it's kind of depressing.
It's very depressing.
Kind of depressing. But he doesn't go, and he goes off alone and, finds Helena. More chasing.
Lots of chasing.
Little carts in Morocco.
The cart chase scene probably could have been shorter.
That, again, could have been shorter. And also, Helena's got like a young boy who is her sidekick, Teddy.
Yeah.
He's obviously very smart because he can fly planes. He's like, I don't know how old he is, but he's, her sidekick, I guess.
Yeah.
More chasing. They have the dial. And then they discover there's and again, this is one of those movies, like you cut down the things they need to do. Then they got to go get like a key that tells them where the other half of the dial is. They're trying to find like Archimedes' grave and or I don't even think they know this at this point, right? They're just trying to find the thing that tells them where the other half is.
Yeah.
So to do that, they get a boat.
Enter Antonio Banderas.
Enter Antonio Banderas. Obviously, we're leaving out some crucial details, but
great
all of a sudden,
cameo,
I didn't even realize till it's like, oh yeah, he's in this. Oh, that's him. Don't even recognize him because it's in like this shipwreck. This thing that's down in this shipwreck. So they gotta like they hook up to hoses and these old looking masks, and they jump in the water and they're tethered to these hoses, and they're like, you gotta go down really fast and come up really fast. You get the bends and again, there's eels. That was kind of funny.
That was funny.
They ate snakes. So he jumps down there. They jump in there. He's got and then even the eel thing was kind of like, wait, is he still down there? Wait, I thought it was a little long. It was a little unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to die.
No.
Just whatever. They come back up and, oh, wait, the boat's been taken over by Mads and his crazy gang of
his goons.
His goons. And, but this is a kind of nice scene. He has Helena, Helena's just charming him. she's like stepping in there like, oh, well, obviously I can interpret this. And, blah, blah, blah. And so she's reading it off and you think, oh, she's giving the code to the enemy. And all the while she's like sneaking over. And he's like, look, I have dynamite in my pocket. And then he's like, oh, look, there's a lighter. You know, like she's like playing this game. And she's got them all buying into like, oh, this means this. Oh, we go here. Like she's just got them all under her spell. And then she's got it behind her back and he's lighting the dynamite and they throw it and then they jump onto their boat and steal their boat and they're running off. And she's like, oh, and he's like, yeah, now they know where the other half is. And she's like, no. Archimedes wasn't that clever. He wasn't, or not clever. Not that obvious. And so like they like take off the outer shell of this tablet with the like instructions on it. It's wax, and then there's this other thing in there, and that's how they know how to get to Archimedes' true, where the side of his grave is, and that's where the other piece is.
Totally.
So then they go somewhere else, and then they're going through caves, and that kind of to me felt a little more like old Indy, where they're going through these caves, trying, you know, and like bridges that are the bridges gonna give out, and
then Teddy kills a guy. That was intense.
That's right.
Teddy
gets
like,
captured.
Shit.
He's captured by the bad guys. Yeah, they're like,
this 8-year-old just killed a guy.
He basically, they had him underwater, and he got the handcuff on him, and then handcuffed the guy to the grate. He didn't let him
die
just swim back to the top.
horrible death.
Drowning.
I mean, to be fair, he was not a good guy.
No,
he was
a
in fact
big guy and not
a bad guy. But I thought that was a little interesting choice.
Well,
Teddy's a murderer.
Teddy is now a murderer. So they find the other half of the dial, and they're, you know, of course, bad guys show up. Harrison, Indy's like, I forget if he like put the pieces together in there, and he starts turning them. He's like seeing where the thing is to go through the fissure of time.
Right.
He did that at some point. I think it was in there, but Indy starts having a shootout with him. So Helena and Teddy, you know, he's like, yo, get away, I got this. And of course he gets shot.
Yeah, he does.
So he gets captured. And then they got to go somewhere else. They got to get up in the plane. And this at this point, I'm thinking,
it's a lot.
We still haven't seen the whole thing where he's like, what are you doing? I'm rescuing you. It was like, okay, we still got a plane to get on.
Exactly.
So then they get up in the plane. They're flying to the coordinates from the dial. And he's going to go to a specific time in Sicily, I think it was.
Yeah.
Where he knew
they were off the coast of Sicily.
Yeah.
So basically they were hoping they'd show back up in that same area. And this is when we learn that this is Mad's plan, is that he takes out all the suitcases. They're all now dressed as Nazis. They have like period appropriate Nazi uniforms on. And he's like, I'm going to kill Hitler and I'm going to be the new dictator because I'm going to win the war. So he wants to change the course of history. And so, they pile into this plane, bunch of I guess, neo-Nazis in old costumes.
That's true.
Head up to get into this time fissure.
Yeah. And Harrison and Indy. So they're flying in and then, but meanwhile, so Helena gets on a motorcycle and just races in the rain after the plane, grabs the landing gear, crawls up into the plane before it goes up. So she's on the plane too. Teddy, I guess, also can fly planes. He finds a random plane. That good thing it's all fueled and ready to go.
Sure.
Starts it up, chases after him. So then they go, and meanwhile, Indiana's like thinking about, he sees like bags moving in the plane. He's like, wait, we didn't count on like something, continental drift or something like that.
Exactly.
And Archimedes didn't figure this into the equation. We're going to be off. You're not going to the right place. Turn around. We're not going to the right place. And they're like, shut up. We're going. And then at some point, Mads is like, you're right. Turn around. But it's too late. They're getting
too late. No.
And which, okay. I thought the time fissure effects looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
It did look cool.
No problem.
And then once they go through it, it's like it's kind of silent and the plane's engines die and they start kind of falling. That part was cool. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This is something I feel like I've not seen before. So I was kind of like, this is cool.
Yep.
So they both go through, and little Teddy in his little plane. By that time, there was a pilot sleeping in the plane, and he's in there with him.
He woke up.
He's like, where the hell am I now? So you realize, here, you're right. They're not wherever they wanted to go. They're back like in Archimedes' time.
Yeah. The siege of Syracuse.
All right.
Syracuse.
I'll go with that.
That's what it was.
It was like old. I'm sure you're right. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
A really long time ago, they were fighting. Mm-hmm. So they're like,
That was cool. I like that.
Okay, that was cool, but I'll have observations that I'll make over them. So it was cool, and then Indy and Helena escape the plane with a parachute. By the way, she shoots him. I think she shoots Mads before they do that. I feel like there's a gun involved, and Helena shot him.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah,
That sounds right.
But then, what it matters, plane crashes anyway, so whatever. It's all, they're like getting spears shot through the plane from all these old
that was really cool
war weapons, and so that plane crash lands. But Helena and Indy land in the parachute, and then of course Teddy's plane rolls up nearby, with his poor passenger like, I just went through time with this kid. I don't know what's
just
happening.
Trying to sleep off a hangover, and now I'm in 20 AD.
He probably thinks he's still drunk. So Indy, Archimedes is like, as soon as he sees these planes, everybody else thinks it's dragons, but Archimedes sees these planes and realizes,
oh shit,
someone found the device and it worked. So he runs over and to where they are, and Harrison's just enamored of the fact that he wants to stay. He's like, I've studied history and this my whole life, and now I get to see it. I don't want to go back. Just let me stay. And he's shot, and he's like, Helena's like, you'll die if you stay here. And Archimedes kind of wants to stay and keep the dial. And I like when she was like, no, he's supposed to go back to his time. You're supposed to make your own one. You don't get this one. You got to make your own one. And it's like this point, and it's like, oh, but he's like, what do I like? Who do I go back for? Like, what is there for me?
And that's when I started crying.
Oh, did you?
Of course. I was like, oh man.
Luckily, Helena didn't fall for that. She basically smacks him and knocks him out. She's like,
knocks him out.
You're not staying. And I was a little scared that he was really going to stay.
I did too.
I was going to be kind of mad if he did. But anyway, no, she knocks him out.
It's really fun. It was a great way to end that little scene there. That was really funny.
Because then you're back in New York, and he's bandaged up. He's like in his pajamas, like bandages on his wound and everything, and Helen is there, and Sala comes in, and everybody's there.
Indy's pissed. He's like, "What the fuck? Like, why did you bring me back?"
Yeah, he didn't want to come back to this time, But then someone walks in with groceries, and it's Marion, and everybody
people started clapping.
Yes, as they should.
Oh,
and so Sala and Helena go. They take the kids out,
and Teddy.
Let's go get some ice cream.
The murderer Teddy.
Murder Teddy. Yeah, that's going to be on his rap sheet. So they go out for a nice bit of ice cream and leave.
Sweet.
Marion and Indy, and they have this nice moment that she asks where it hurts or how is his wound. He's like, everything hurts.
Yeah.
And then he says something to the effect of like, I forgot how they even got into it. He's like, how are you? And she like says everything hurts, but more like you hurt me.
Right.
And then they go back into the, is there anything that doesn't hurt? And if it, of course, was a callback to the great Raiders of the Lost Ark scene where she points to her elbow. She's like, well, this doesn't hurt. And then shoulder, this doesn't hurt. And Marion's theme's playing, and this is when I started crying. And I thought, this could be a very cheesy moment, but it's perfect.
It worked.
The way they handled it was very nice. And they start kissing, and they're back. And then she asked him if he's really back. And he's like, I'm really back. And they're because the death of their son kind of tore them apart, but
sure,
they are, and basically ending with Marion and Indy but in a weird way, both older. He's kind of in PJs and wounded, and they're old, but they're together, and he's ready for whatever life is now. And it cuts down to Helena and everybody, and she's kind of looking up like, they're good. Camera tilts up to his hat on a clothesline, and I'm thinking, oh, perfect, like he's hung up his hat,
right?
Kind of has the little circle it goes in, like closing in on the hat at the last minute. He's like, grabs it, like, no, maybe not, which doesn't mean we're getting another movie.
No,
just means Indy's not necessarily done.
Indy lives on. It was a great way to end it. I thought it was very sweet. I was emotional the entire last act of the movie. And it was really fun. I liked it.
It was.
So glad Marion showed up at the end. That to me
Yeah.
saved it. Like if she hadn't, I would have been very disappointed and upset.
I would have been too. I did read that she wished she could have been more of the whole adventure, but she's like, I'm glad they had their closure. I'm glad I was able to come back at all.
Yeah. Thank God.
I read that they, was there ever any discussion about killing Indy? He's like, no, I'm not going to do that to people. No, that's not necessary.
We've already killed off one of his iconic characters.
We have,
Yeah.
and you know what? Both of them have problems with their sons and their marriages.
Yeah.
and their
Honestly, how
relationships,
depressed.
so-
That's so depressing,
Yeah.
really.
yeah.
That's so sad. Like you can never have a happy ending is what this
No,
tells us.
not if you're a Harrison Ford character. Apparently.
Ugh, man.
It was good. I did miss the Spielberg. So this made me go back and watch Crystal Skull. I started watching it, over a couple nights. There's just so much creativity he brings. Now, granted, there were a lot of problems with Crystal Skull, and it was kind of
Sure.
cartoony. It was kind of fake looking at a lot of parts. I
gotta
miss
rewatch
what
it.
he brought to Raiders. I always say, like, he and George both got this idea that Star Wars, Raiders, all these films, E.T., they are for children. They are for kids. So they, Indy was never going to shoot anybody. It was like, the deaths were like, I
Well-
got eaten by ants, like crazy ants and CG ants, or he, Spielberg goes and erases guns from people's hands in E.T. George
Right. Which
has
he
to put
says
Jar Jar in.
he says he regrets. Yeah.
So I like that this take was different. It wasn't, Indy's for children. Let's make a kids. No, but Spielberg has that thing he brings to everything he does.
Yeah.
That's synonymous with Indy that was just missing. And yeah, I saw like more creative shots, more ingenuity in the first 5 minutes of Crystal Skull
Oh wow.
the entirety
Interesting.
of Dial of Death. I mean, it was fine. It was an action movie. It was done the way action movies were. It was a little long.
Yeah.
But you just watch Spielberg's action scenes. You watch what he adds to it, and I was thinking a couple of things I feel like were missing that Spielberg would have definitely added. You would have felt more of the awe and majesty. There was no moment of when they went through time, like,
Right. That's a
we
good
just
point.
went through time. We have the awe of, like, I feel like Spielberg would have easily, hi, Charlie, put in like a moment even where he and Mads, like Indiana Mads, both are like have this moment of
Wow.
being overwhelmed, like, look at
Yeah.
this amazing thing.
Together.
And
Yeah.
then start fighting again. Or
You're totally right.
someone read that there wasn't an awe inspiringness or the epicness of like the Ark or the Grail or whatever happens to those.
That's a good
You know
point.
why? Because they didn't make it that way. They didn't have that moment where the characters were awed by what was happening and where they were. It was just like, we went to the wrong time. Like, obviously we're going to jump back in time. That's expected. We just went to the wrong date. There was no like,
Right.
this is
Oh my God.
amazing what we've just done. And there was not that moment or any of those little, I mean, there are little character moments, I guess, at various parts. There are some moments of creativity, but there was not on that level where you kind of felt that because it wasn't presented that way. It was just
Yeah.
like they were just worried about it, Harris Indy getting out of the plane. He was just worried about, I didn't go back to the right time. We got to turn around. Not like we just went through time.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Right.
That's a
That
good
wasn't
point.
there.
That's absolutely true.
I
I mean, for James Mangold to try to fill in the shoes of Steven Spielberg
Right.
is an impossible
it
job.
is impossible.
And he
You're
did
true,
it.
you're
He
right.
did a fine job. He did, he delivered a good action movie. Is
Yeah.
what he did. Yeah.
So, but that was my main thing. I just found myself. That's why I went home because I was like, I want to revisit Crystal Skull. I mean, I know what the other first three are, but I just want to revisit this.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this scene, it didn't have to be this, but Spielberg made it this. But I mean, but
Right.
no one is Spielberg. I mean, like I said, at the Directors Guild Awards, there's Spielberg and everybody else.
Everybody
And
else.
it's just, that's the way it is because he is who he is. But
Yeah.
I will say this on Crystal Skull. I feel like one of these days, because I forgot the end. There's aliens,
Okay.
but I forgot what they actually said. And because Kat, you and I have been talking about aliens and the whole
Sure. Yeah.
Vegas and everything, and how people have said they're not really extraterrestrial, they're interdimensional. And that's the way they went at the end of Crystal Skull.
Ah.
And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
they're interdimensional. The UFO at the end, it doesn't go up. It just kind of spins and then just disappears. And there's a
Disappears.
quote that they went to the space was within spaces or spaces between spaces. So I'm like,
Interesting.
someday, what if we find out that that's true? And people are going to look back at Crystal Skull and say, they knew.
They knew.
And it's going to be more
Spielberg
important. Yeah. But anyway,
That's interesting. Good observation.
thank you. What do you think, Tara?
Well, hearing that, I'll have to go check it out.
Do you want to see it based on all that? Do you have an interest in seeing it?
I don't know if I'll go right away to the theater.
Yeah.
But someday maybe.
Yeah. How many rainbows out of 5 would you give it?
Well,
3.5
out of 5 we do this? Out of 5?
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
5.
I'll say 3. It's a strong 3.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people have been going and loving it. I mean, I'm going again, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm excited to see it again.
I do want to see it again.
You know,
I also want to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark again.
How long has it been since you've seen Raiders?
It's been all the way through. It's probably been years. I don't even know last time I saw it.
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how incredibly perfect and amazing that movie is.
Yeah.
I
love that
mean,
movie.
I know
We should come over and watch it in my backyard.
Say when. I'm ready. Love that movie.
Yeah.
That was a lot. I'm tired. Why don't you take it, Tara?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, next up is mail, and I think you've got
that's right.
first one.
Am I first?
Yep.
Oh, I'm already
Oh,
exhausted.
of course.
I'm exhausted. By the way, let me do a side note from last week's mail.
All right.
Was it Heather that talked about the Katie Sackhoff?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
We signed up. We're going.
Oh, sweet. You got in.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got
Nice.
general admission. So we'll show up, have a couple drinks, watch Katie and friends, and it'll be fun.
All right. You'll tell us all about it.
Of course. If only we had a venue for that. Oh, wait. We do a podcast.
Hey.
All right. So I got a mail from Liz, and it says, "Hi, Liz, by the
Oh,
way."
wait, no, you're back.
I have an email from Beck who
Ah.
starts off with,
Oh.
"Hey, nerds."
Hey,
Hey,
Beck.
Beck.
Okay.
Mm,
It was
Tara.
okay.
Oh, no. Here we go. Tara, you're doing it wrong. You can't just say Rachel is your girlfriend. You're missing a golden opportunity here. It's your time to shine. From now on, don't forget to say Rachel, my girlfriend, who I'm dating. Take some of that power off, Kat.
How dare you, Beck?
ah,
Looking out.
boy.
I really enjoyed that smackdown you guys got from Sir AK regarding forcing me to move back in with the parents. Serves you right. Us knights have got to stick together. You better watch yourselves. This could be the beginning of a revolt.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Damn.
Oh, dear. I'm
We're
nervous.
sorry?
Story time. During the week, I had a mid-year parent-teacher conversation with Oscar's teachers. I had met one before. He's been there since the start of the year and is a nice enough guy. During this last term, he's picked up more responsibility at a whole school level. So Oscar's class got a new teacher on Mondays and Tuesdays. Because Oscar catches the bus every day, I've never met her before our meeting. She popped her little head out the door to call me in, and it was all over for
Oh,
me.
no.
Instant gay panic.
Oh,
She parked me down on those tiny kid-sized chairs so my knees were at my chin, and then proceeded to sit so close to me that we touched.
Oh,
I think I
my.
need to read this differently.
Yes.
The other teacher was all the way on the other side of the table, directly opposite me. She smelled so fucking good, you guys. And her entire
Wow.
face was just one big kind smile.
Oh.
Then the unthinkable happened. She put on a pair of glasses to read something Oscar had written. I don't even know what it was she read to me because my brain stopped working. It gets worse, you guys. Towards the end, she touched my arm and told me I should be so proud of Oscar, which of course I am. But I'm pretty sure my only response was dumb nodding and saying, There's no way the other teacher in the room didn't know what was happening. He would have surely noticed my mouth was agape the entire time. I honestly have no idea what she said, what was said in that meeting. Oscar's going to have to change schools. I can never go back there. Stupid gay panic. Love you guys.
Oh.
Gay
been
panic.
there,
amazing.
been there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Beck, you gotta, you know what you gotta do. You gotta
Make
go
your-
back.
make your
your
move.
move.
Wow. I wish you
There's
the
only
best.
one thing to do.
See, my strategy in that case would be to avoid that teacher at every possible moment. It's worked well.
It's worked well in the past.
All right. I got one from AK. AK says, "Hey, my dudes. Well, so apart from the parking and the no score draw, that doesn't sound so bad." I think referring to the soccer game that I went to. Yes, the ACFC game. I mean, actually, it sounds kind of great, which I never thought I would say about a footy match. But it
Funny.
was soccer full of badass women, not childish millionaire drama queen dudes pretending to suffer mortal injury every time they get tackled. I noticed that you had no email from Beck last week. I fear you fucked up that hey Beck so egregiously that you broke her. Perhaps you need to send her an emotional support cucumber. No.
Wow.
Wait, this is works in a hospital? Breaking news. Michelle Yeoh as Guan Yin. Oh boy. The bots. What are your guesses, guys?
But
Bodhisattva of compassion, Guan Yin.
Totally.
Amazing.
Sure.
I can totally see that. Sign me up right now. I mean, after Xena, obviously. Thanks, Abby, too. Gillian Anderson confirmed some things, too. Right. Oh, wait. Let me reread that one. Gillian Anderson confirmed some things, too. Right. We're with La Lynch here. Oh, shit. Running late with my mail again. Honestly, since I got happy, I'm turning into a hopeless correspondent. Distracted, you might say. I hold Max
Aw.
entirely responsible. Take it up with them. Bye for now, kids. Oh,
Since I got happy, AK. That's so sweet.
By the way, speaking of Gillian Anderson, did we talk
Yes.
last time about how she's in a new Western, The Abandons,
No!
with Lena Headey
Oh
Oh.
my God.
on Netflix?
I'm so excited.
I'm curious because, I love my Lena Headey or a life debt, but go Cersei. She is my girl. Yeah.
It sounds
10 episodes, Western.
I am in. I am all in.
I think I'll have to check this out. It's created by a guy that did Sons of Anarchy, which I never watched,
Oh
but
my God.
do they play lovers?
I doubt it.
Do
but I
not
don't
know yet.
Okay, so here's the
Boy, would
description
that
of
be great.
Anderson. Anderson plays Constance, the matriarch of the wealthy Van Ness family who inherited her husband's mining fortune, then doubled it. So the character description is, despite the town's inherent bias against women, her money, charm, and ruthlessness created a network of political allies. For her power, wealth, and lineage trumps all. That sounds like a badass role.
It does. Does it say, Wendy, that does she wear pants? She wearing
It
pants?
does not comment on her costuming,
All right.
but
I hope she's wearing pants.
I don't know. It's a Western. We'll see. I mean, it doesn't say she's
there
a
were pants
cowgirl.
back then.
I know, but I mean, I hope so. I
I bet that's one of her looks,
She may
Because
have
she
a
can
variety
probably
of looks.
pull off being a, whatever she wants. Like, she could just
Yeah.
pull off all the different looks.
Yeah.
Cat's
it's
like, pull off anything you want there, Jillian.
hey, yo. It's like you said, Wendy, she's the head of like a mining family or something.
Well, now I clicked off the link, Kat, so I
Yeah,
can't go back.
She's got to
So,
wear
like,
pants at some
yeah,
point.
she's going to a work
Trousers.
site.
She's the
walking
head
around,
of
telling people what to do.
Yes, mining.
Yeah.
I mean,
wearing
she's
pants.
probably not working in the mines.
No, but she's got to show
boss
people
lady.
who's boss,
Mhm.
All right, well, we'll see.
Either way, that's a ways off. I mean,
I know.
has it even
They don't-
been written yet?
Probably not.
I mean, yeah, put a pin in that. We'll get back
okay.
to 2025 when it comes
It's
out.
okay. Something to look forward to.
Thank
Hey, guys, I have an email from Liz in LA.
What up, Liz?
And the subject is my weapon of choice. Liz says, hello, hello, dear darlings. Sir Elizabeth of Los Angeles chiming in to name the medieval weapon I shall wield on our Snopalot adventures.
Just say medieval.
No. I said
Medieval.
medieval, obviously. Why would I say medieval? That's ridiculous. And that weapon is, drumroll, the catapults.
That's a good choice. I mean,
I mean,
not
I got
very
questions.
portable,
No.
but
Right.
it's a good weapon. It's effective.
See attached photo for what I have in mind. It is quite large a weapon to be toting about. Yes, but I plan to entreat the Snop Tarts yet to achieve knighthood to help me push it around.
I see.
That way we can all stick together on our escapades, knights, squires, vassals, serfs, a minstrel or two, to the quest, my boon companions.
So glad
As
I
far
don't have
as-
to deal with minstrels anymore.
Good night, everybody. Wendy, that's fucking hilarious. As real life goes, Kat, have the fucking best time at EDE. Congrats to you, Ann and Jill, on all your panels. You three will kick ass as always. They are so lucky to have you. Big hey to the Holy Trinity from me. Love, Liz in LA. Thanks, Liz.
Yeah,
Thanks for reminding me.
I love that I
Got
can
a
hear
big
her.
weekend coming up.
Yeah, I do. I gotta
Pack.
I gotta pack. I gotta finish up some panel stuff. Going to Herb Division Expo next week, and gonna go herb my ass off.
And
And,
beautiful Buffalo.
Beautiful,
Go Bills.
beautiful Buffalo, New York. I hear it's lovely this time of year. Can't wait. And yeah, hopefully I'll be back and tell you guys all about it and have some interesting tales to tell.
There's a question. Will you be wearing pants?
That's affirmative. I will be
Okay.
wearing pants.
Seems to be the question of the day. Good to know.
Scandalous.
That is a very good question.
Pantaloons.
Yes, pantaloons for this one. Thank you, Liz. Appreciate it. The catapult is an interesting choice. Good luck. And we'll see how that goes on the old battlefield. I don't know who we're fighting. Who are the Knights of Snoplight fighting on our behalf? That's the question.
Ooh.
Fanboys, I guess?
Yeah,
Fanboys.
fanboys.
Okay.
Love that.
Haters and fanboys and all those people.
Hey, listen, let's get in some nerd news.
Nerd news. Nerd news. I repeat, we have breaking nerd news.
All right. I've got this one. This
Oh,
is
okay.
Tara.
You sure you want to take this one,
You should be
Sarah?
I'm going to take this
Tara.
one. So literally hours after we wrapped up last week's podcast recording, breaking news hit. Simon Barry, the showrunner for Warrior Nun, who, if you've heard this podcast before, we have been talking a lot about Warrior Nun's fight to be saved. He posted... today, I'm happy to officially report that because of your combined voices, passion, and amazing efforts, Warrior Nun will return and is going to be more epic than you could imagine. More details to come soon. Thank you. Hashtag save Warrior Nun. Hashtag Warrior Nun saved.
It's a lot of hashtags.
Sounds
A lot
like
of
it was
hashtags.
100% good news, but
I mean, that's huge. They're coming back for season 3, right, Tara?
Well, that's yet to be confirmed. There's no word. See, if you read closely here, there's really not that. There's in no way does it say you'll see your favorites back on the screen or, that it's a season. Doesn't say anything about a network, or it doesn't say anything about being live action in any way, shape, or form. Warrior Nun's based off of a graphic novel. And Simon has before talked about on some of the podcasts and like the, what are they called? Twitter spaces.
Yeah.
He has mentioned that, it could be saved, maybe not live action, but other mediums such as an animated series. And people are like, that's not what we're really fighting for here. We want a live action, whether it be another season or some kind of movie, at least a wrap-up movie, right? With the original cast, at the very least, with Christina and Alba playing Ava and Beatrice. So it's, that's what the fight is for. So,
Oh boy. Do you think do you think he didn't realize that?
I think that's pretty. I think that would be pretty hard to misread that. Hard to misread that. So as far, of course, people just kind of run with this. I hope that this is just, he just can't, that it just is what we hope it to be, and that he just can't release some of those details. But I just think I'm a little worried that it wasn't at least narrowed down in some way. Like you'll see them back on the screen, or you'll see, we'll be back with, it's just very vague. and he's trying to almost upsell it a little bit. It says will return and it's going to be more epic than you could imagine.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I guess.
I have a pretty good imagination.
Yeah, we've been pretty clear. I mean, and I hope, and it's not like he posted it with a picture of Avatrice or like, you know, or
Yeah.
even the original cast, right? He posted it with a picture of the, what are these called? A Talask? The like basically
Trask.
Tarrasque. I always want to, I get it mixed up with the Harry Potter, the basilisk snake. But anyway, so that's
Yeah.
what it's with. It's not like with a picture of, you know, the
Yeah.
actual cast.
It's a weird choice,
That
right?
had me a little worried too. Christina and Alba have said nothing. None of the cast has said anything.
Yeah.
But you know, of course, people picked this up and ran with it. It was, oh, congrats! You know, we're getting a season 3. Pretty much everyone's just kind of like assuming it's a season 3. But you know, then the
Yeah.
articles are like, well, season 3 won't be at Netflix. It's like, well, there's been no announcement of any season, and you know, we assume it wouldn't be on Netflix. But is that because it's not going to be a live action thing? I don't know. So it's been over a week now. No, June 27th has been a week. Yeah, almost. Well, almost.
Yeah, well, we're getting there.
About a week. Yes, Wendy.
I have a
raising
question.
her hand. Yes.
Have you seen the latest post from Simon Barry?
I was going to mention that too.
July
No.
1st. There's a website called warriornunsaved.com that he linked, that he tweeted. And it's counting down to something in 44 days, 1 hour, 34 minutes, 40 seconds. And you can sign up for exclusive updates.
It says in this
44
life
days.
or the next.
So obviously it's not, I mean, is this counting down to whatever this is going to be online? Is it counting down to an I mean, there's something, I don't know what this is.
It's
but
gotta be an announcement, I'm guessing.
announcement, or is it us? I mean, look, if it's not the actual show, then the way he announced it is pretty crappy, because you could announce it and say, look, it's Warrior Nun's coming back in a different form. I wish
Right.
it could have been with the original cast as a continuation, but here's what we're doing something different. We hope you'll join us. The way he announced it, if it's not the show with the cast that everybody wants back, is just going to be a disappointment when he leaves it hanging like that.
It's going to be a disaster.
A disaster.
To now do this 44 day. They better be fucking filming some kind of big reveal with Alba and Christina. That's all. I don't know.
And why is it 45 days out?
45. Why would you do a teaser 45? These people have already waited so long.
So hold on. What is 45 days from now?
We don't know.
But I mean, like, was there like a? Let's see.
It's August
There's no
15th-ish.
No.
Okay.
And you can sign up. You can sign up for updates, I guess.
All right, I'm going to put my email in. Here we go.
Sign up,
All right.
Tara.
Accepted. It's happening.
Okay. Well, please let us know as soon as you get an update.
Let's meet back here in 45 days.
In no way does it say the words renewed are not
Right.
used in that post.
Right.
Right. Right. So, but, and I specifically remember him like the animated thing and just like other mediums that.
Yeah. I mean, the cast, they could come back to voice the animated show.
Not gonna be good. I mean, people like watch, support it, and but like
it's not gonna be the same.
I'm gonna be pissed if this is not live action.
I feel like it's kind of shady the way it was announced.
So
if it's
shady.
not,
They're they're giving people
gets
such
people's hopes
hope.
up. Yeah,
Like not even hope to just. I mean, how could you this not be completely misleading or just gaslighting into people thinking that like
it's back.
Yeah, they're back, like, because the whole point is they've been very clear, like the show or a movie with the cast.
This build up
action.
for it not being the real thing is pretty not good. I mean, I feel like this is because it is not like they don't know what people are assuming this is or hoping it is.
44 days.
Okay, wait. 7, 14, 28, 34.
It's like, no, if you're not ready,
Why?
Oh my God.
even-
Why would you
yeah.
not make the announcement? Just wait until you.
When is
had-
44 days from now? 7,
Eh.
14, 21, 28, 35. Math.
It's like
40.
August 14th or something.
Okay.
Just July-
What's
yeah.
happening? Is anything happening around there?
Is that a weekday?
It's a Monday, is the August 14th.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Why is it? Why? That's Twitter is very confused
Like,
about
is this the thing that, like, is the next announcement?
Yeah,
in
is it an
44 days?
announcement or is it the
Or
thing?
Is it the thing?
I mean, there's no way it could be the thing.
There's someone that asked,
You
okay,
need
August
time
14th,
for the thing.
is there a convention happening? But August
On a
14th, it's not
Monday?
happening. It's a Monday.
Right.
It's very strange.
What is happening?
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
don't
my goodness.
know. That's a big build up to something that I'm scared is going to be very disappointing to a lot of
Well,
people.
And like other news, quote unquote, agencies have picked it up and are like writing articles like, guess what? Warrior Nun is back. The fans,
Is it?
But they're not, they have no other source except for this very
Right.
vague tweet. And so they're, maybe if people don't understand where this is coming from, they're like, oh yeah, it's coming back. This is so great. I can't wait.
Right.
And then there's like, a huge devastating disappointment if it's in fact not a season 3 live action.
Well, look, here's the thing. Even if it's animated, you got to have people to write it, and that's not being written
Certainly not.
right now. So, I don't know.
It's interesting.
I feel like this guy, I hope he's not screwing people, just getting this build up for something that he knows is. I mean, maybe he doesn't have
mean,
a concept of the disappointment. Well, it will be.
I think he just
That's
maybe
why
has
I'm like,
he has a good intention. I definitely think he just like love, but I feel like it has been made very clear to him directly, like
what people are most excited about.
Yeah.
And it's these two characters.
and again, like
Love story.
if it was going to be something animated or anything not with the original cast in that original format, to again, like you said, Wendy, put it out there to be like, hey, it's not going to be the way you expected it, or it's going to be like, but more details.
He should have prefaced it instead of getting
Yeah.
people excited.
Or just waited 45 fucking days till whatever. I cannot. That is so. And then to say updates coming soon, and then all we get is this fucking mystery. Like, we don't want to play games anymore. Like, it is or isn't. Like, why do you put a giant countdown on?
Yeah.
If it's not. If
I
you're
mean,
not
like-
going to confirm, like, yes, it's a live action thing, and then you're doing this countdown, then I'd be like, ooh, I wonder what that means,
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are we
It's
getting in
just like-
45 days?
No, that's terrifying. Now I'm even more annoyed.
I mean, a bunch of people reacted to this tweet, including Emily Andress saying, incredible news. Here's to the fans. Heart emoji. Ooh.
Emily said that?
Awkward. Yeah.
Right.
Awkward.
Mm.
Ugh, oh boy.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued now. Like, I'm all in this. Like, what is this? This countdown. I'm signing up for the countdown. I don't even know. Accepted. I'm
You want
just
to be
curious.
You want to be the first to be disappointed.
Well, look, I'm not as invested in this as Tara, and a lot of people are, but now I'm just invested in, are they really going to be crazy enough to think that if it's not a real season 3, that people aren't going to be incredibly disappointed?
Yeah, I'm just fascinated by this whole.
I am too, especially if I feel like they're setting themselves up for, 45 days. I feel like it's going to be some online animation thing or something crazy. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. And the
Yeah.
fact that Warrior Nun saved, in what capacity? Like you
Right.
said, they know what
Not
you want.
renewed. Right. And
Saved.
the original hashtag was renew Warrior Nun, and then it was
Mhm.
save Warrior Nun. And so, yeah, it could have,
And like people are really running with it and like
really.
assuming that this means
Yeah.
that it's coming back. Then
Someone did write.
made-
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
Someone just commented, "Is this going to be during the convention?" And someone said, "I think it's a few days before." There is like a small Winona Earp. So,
Erp or
Warrior
or
Nun.
not Earp.
Warrior Nun?
Yeah, Warrior Nun.
Huh.
Conventions.
Okay.
Check the date on that one.
well, it serves them right if they're making this announcement in this way, and people are getting the wrong idea and running with it, and it's going to blow up in their faces because it's incredibly irresponsible if it isn't what they're making it sound like it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they definitely says he has promised an epic revival of fantasy, but it won't make a comeback on Netflix. But yeah, obviously. Says after that, sources told TV Line, while no deals are in place, discussions are indeed underway to revive the series via a standalone movie or shortened final season in order to give fans closure, but not on Netflix. It remains unclear where the project would potentially land.
Where did you see that?
I'm looking at IGN.com, and they were quoting
Oh.
TV Line.
Oh,
Which, you know,
okay.
they're kind of, I mean, they're not unknown sites.
You're
No,
right,
but
but like, where
are
is this
they
info
getting
coming
that?
from?
Yeah, I
where's
don't know.
TV Line getting? Come
Sources.
on, Wendy.
Sources. It just says sources. They're not
Okay.
clarifying either. They're just saying sources.
Okay.
So again, I don't know
See, it
if
says
there is a deal.
comicbook.com says Warrior Nun creator teases August announcement for series return.
Oh, well,
Okay.
then I
Last
hope
week, broke the story, blah, blah, blah.
But why 45 days? Why
maybe he's
wait?
on vacation till then. I don't know. Maybe they want to prepare. Maybe, I don't know. What's happening in 45 days that would, like you said, maybe it's before this Warrior Nun con.
Okay. So then why tell us at all?
Right. Right
Until
now, why
that-
not just
the day
wait
that
until
you're
the 40,
ready to
45? Yeah.
If they're
announce it.
building
Yeah.
excitement, if they're building interest, then and it ends up being what you want it to be, then okay, fun. That's fun.
I think they're building anxiety.
And that they're building anxiety. I don't know, man.
Wow.
I don't know. But
Very interesting.
I'm in the I'm not even I mean I like the show, but again, like I'm not a what are your names? Nuns? What are you what are the
Habit
Halo.
head. You're a habit
No,
head.
Halo
Halo?
Bear.
Well,
Halo
pretty
bear.
Sure. Pretty sure
I
it's
wouldn't
habit
call
head.
myself a Halo bear, but now I'm incredibly intrigued by all of this.
Yeah, I am fascinated. So I'm hoping for the best, and I'm not going to be surprised if it's not exactly that. But we'll see. This could be huge, Tara. This could be huge news.
I know. I really want to be ecstatic, but I cannot, especially after the whole Jonathan Kasdan
Right. Willow.
Willow
Yeah, that was BS,
post,
wasn't it?
That's fair. That's fair.
Jeez.
and now it's like, Willow, what's Willow? Does it even
Yeah.
exist anymore yet?
It never
they kicked
existed.
it off the whole site, and he's like, "Well, it's just actor availability. We're just working on." I was like, "Shut up, y'all were canceled." And now they don't even
Yeah.
want your show on the website,
It's
on
so
the app.
fucked.
So
So fucked.
quit. Which is it is what it is, and it sucks. But don't try to make
Yeah.
us think that. Oh no, we're not canceled. I'm thinking you're canceled.
Or tell us if we need to start like a fucking Save Willow thing. Like, tell us what to do here. But
Right.
don't soften the blow by lying to us.
Right.
Seriously. Anyway, I hope for the best, Tara. I want you to be very happy with the Warrior Nun.
Yeah.
I want it to be what all y'all want it to be.
I cannot until I see Alba Baptista post an ecstatic post about how great the fans are for bringing this back.
Look, I hope none of the cast is doing cons in the next 45 days because they're just going to be inundated with questions that they probably can't answer.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
would suck.
They should just lie low. Because people are going to be going crazy trying to figure it out. 45 days. That's a lot. Like, not even like, hey,
It's a long time.
a month. It's like 45 days.
Long time. Long time.
No, I know Simon, he promised to give like some kind of announcement at 15 million tweets because that's been kind of a thing like every
Oh, really?
certain, yeah. And they did get to 15 million, I think, on that day. But like, so maybe he was given the green light to say something. But again,
I don't think that's the way the film business works.
yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're saying, hey, we've got this great new project, but you're not allowed to mention it till you get 15 million tweets.
That's funny.
That's part of your contract, dude.
It's in your contract.
Well,
Man.
we'll see.
All right. Well,
Okay.
stay tuned for that.
I'm glad I
More-
kind of broke the news of that website while we were talking. I like it.
Yeah.
Nice job,
You
Wendy.
did.
I was living for that.
You beat me
Okay.
to it. I was going to do it. And you did.
Oh, sorry, Kat.
It's okay.
45 days.
Mark it on your calendar. Like, cross off each date.
Mark
Yeah.
it.
Yikes.
Cross
Okay.
off each day.
I mean, I'm excited about this, so
It better be something.
it better be worth your while.
It better be. Oh, I'm gonna be so
Guess
mad.
what, guys? It's a graphic online novel. No.
Ugh.
I mean, when hashtag we saved Warrior Nun
animated.
is trending.
Yeah.
I mean, that is going to be so awkward.
Animated series. Yay.
Yay. Yeah, a book with no pictures.
It better be live action and it better be gay AF. Like, they better
Oh,
be
gay.
making out left and right. Just,
Yeah.
yep. Better give it a sex scene in there.
Oh, boy.
Better just have
Oh,
it all.
boy. I just hope for your sake it's just live action at this point. And then with all those other little doodads you're hoping for.
Dude.
Hey.
Well, we're going to find out in 44 days and in an hour and 20 minutes or so.
Just around the corner.
Just around the corner, guys. It's going to fly by.
Soon, as he put it.
Fly by.
in this life or the next. And that's all it has. It's just a countdown.
Yeah.
It doesn't even say Warrior Nun. It just says in this life or the next. And
Yeah,
it
it
has a
doesn't
big old
say.
countdown.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an online game.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
They're building it
Can you
now.
imagine?
Well,
Oh, I'm so. I feel so anxious about it.
gotta forget about it. Just forget about it for 44
Hour, days,
days.
1
and,
hour, 19 minutes, and
Let's hope. Let's hope.
38, 37,
Wait,
36.
is your time clock different than mine, Kat? I'm at 1 hour 24 minutes.
Oh, I'm
Oh.
ahead of you.
Okay, let me refresh.
I have less time to worry.
I have 125.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Now reset because now I'm at 119.
Yeah, 119 and
Oh.
22.
Okay, you gotta refresh.
21, 20.
Okay, now I'm at.
19.
You're still
Yep.
like a few seconds ahead of
19.
me. Everybody
18.
synchronize your Warrior Nun countdown
15.
website.
14.
Let's just
13.
hope there's a leak. There's got to be plenty of Warrior Nun folks out there searching for one.
I hope so.
All right. Well, we'll keep you posted. We'll
Till
have to,
then.
if it's the series back, we'll have to do a special like
Oh, God.
either live or
Are you kidding
Spontaneous.
me?
I'm going to lose our minds.
No, if they've announced the series that it is indeed coming back in live action, we have to do some kind of
Breaking
special
news.
episode. Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be a party.
yeah.
Yeah. That's why
All right.
I don't want to be
Clear your
hurt again,
schedules.
so I'm not getting too excited.
No, I know.
That's good. It's smart. That's how you got to play this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way you got to do it.
Well,
Yeah, I think that's our show.
yeah, that's it.
I mean, how do you top that? Besides,
You don't.
you don't.
All right, then.
All
Have a
right,
little
kids.
countdown till our next show.
Yes, you can listen to our next podcast in 7 days, and I don't know. I don't have this timing down yet. So, all right. Well, but we're on the Twitter, where apparently last night everybody thought Twitter was dead because people could only see 600 tweets before getting kicked off. But
Oh.
I guess it's back.
Yeah.
It's a lot of tweets. Anyway,
or instead, you can go over to Instagram or Facebook at She Nerds Out Podcast.
yeah, but we're on the Twitter at snotpodcast.com as long as it still lives and breathes.
That's good. Hey, if you want to send us an email, send it to shenerdsout@gmail.com. Go to our website, shenerdsout.com, for all your snopping needs. We have merch. You can go buy some shirts, a coffee mug, a sweatshirt, stickers. You can buy us a beer, help us keep the lights on around here, or you can get caught up on old episodes. It's really all you need to know is that you go there and you snop.
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
All your snopping needs. All right. Well, till approximately 7 days and 0 hours from now, she nerds out.
Out.
She nerds out. We're girls that like girls that like nerdy things. Nerdy things.
Bum, 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 bum.